Welcome to Organizing with Ease, where we simplify and organize our lives for the better. I'm Deanna Mall, your host, here to guide you towards a more organized and enriching life. Together, let's explore practical strategies, inspiring stories, and expert advice to simplify every aspect of our lives. Are you ready to embark on this journey with ease? Let's start. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Organizing with Ease. I'm your host, Deanna Mall, and we're continuing with our October focus, Simplify, Streamline, and Succeed series. Last week in episode 126, we explored the Pomodoro method for breaking down tasks into manageable chunks of time, making it easier to tackle decluttering projects. Today, we're diving into streamlining your routines to help you get through the busy holiday season with ease. This holiday season can be a wonderful time of celebration, but it can also be incredibly overwhelming. I don't know about you, but every year it gets going by so quickly, and then before you know it, the holidays are here. From family gatherings and work parties to gift shopping to holiday cooking, it's just easy to feel that there's just way too much to do, and it just happened overnight, right? But by streamlining your daily and weekly routines now, you can set yourself up for a smoother, more organized holiday season. The goal isn't to add more onto your plate, and that is correct. We don't need to have like a 5-layer cake either, but it's to refine what you already do to make everything flow a little bit more easily. As always, we're using the Fresh Start method to guide our process, ensuring we form lasting habits that reduce stress. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Why is streamlining routines key? Well, it's one of the most powerful ways to reduce stress during the holidays. But you might be wondering, why does it matter so much? Like, who cares? So I'm going to give you a couple of reasons, just so that you understand why it really does matter. One, it reduces decision fatigue. I don't know about you, but this statistic, when I read this, I just had to share it with you because I was just like, I could not believe this. Did you know that on an average, adults make about 35,000 decisions every day? That blew my mind. I was like, what? During the holiday season, that number can skyrocket with decisions about gifts, meals, travel plans, and so much more. Especially if having guests in the house. I think that would probably add an extra 15,000 decisions to make on that day. Wouldn't you agree? Decision fatigue can lead to stress, burnout, and even poor choices because your mind just isn't focused. By simplifying your routines, you can reduce the number of decisions you have to make daily, saving your mental energy for the things that really matter. So let's think about this for a moment. Are there certain decisions you could just automate or simply free up your mental space? For example, why not setting a weekly meal plan? I know I talk about this a lot, but during the holiday season, it's really crucial to keep sane. But I'm just sharing with you that maybe if you have not yet started, think about it. Think about using the holidays as an excuse to start doing weekly meal planning because it can significantly cut down on the number of daily decisions you have to make. Also, it maximizes the time for what really matters. Remember, the holidays are meant to be the time for like joy, connection, and celebration. But all too often, we just get bogged down by the stress of planning, cleaning, and managing just everything, right? But by streamlining your routines, you free up what? Time for the activities and the people that bring you joy. So you have to ask yourself, what holiday traditions or activities bring you the most joy during this time? How can you make more time for those this season? Maybe it really is setting time for a what? A family movie night, maybe a holiday, watching one of your favorite holiday movies, or scheduling a weekend just for holiday baking. And that's what we do. We actually set time out for the weekend, specifically right after Thanksgiving, sometimes even before a weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday, and we start doing our holiday baking. Creating calm in this madness of chaos of the holiday season can also feel like a whirlwind. With a never ending to do list and not enough hours in the day? Or are you saying that that's just not the holiday season and it's throughout the whole year? But let's just focus now on the holiday season, okay? So, when your routines are in place, you have a sense of control. Even when things get really hectic, you have all the systems that keep everything in order. Why don't you consider this? What areas of your life feel the most chaotic during the holidays? Is it the rush to get out the door in the morning? The clutter that seems to multiply with holiday decor? Or the pressure of finding that quote unquote perfect gift? Identifying these stress points can help you target which routines to streamline first. The more you simplify, the more you see life in its brilliance by Robin Sharman. So you might ask yourself, how does the fresh method help with these type of routines? Well, it can actually help you streamline your routines more effectively. Remember, it's about creating sustainable habits that carry you through the busiest times of the year. Just like when you're decluttering physical spaces. The first step to streamlining your routines is identifying what's on your plate. No pun intended on the holidays on your plate. But you want to start by making a list of all of your regular tasks, from the morning routines to meal prep for the holiday planning, and then you categorize them. So you're going to take your daily, the tasks you need to complete every day, the morning prep, the tidying up, the meals, the nightly prep, weekly tasks, tasks that come up once a week, grocery shopping, laundry, if you do laundry. I do laundry, as you all know, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a beautiful thing. Occasional tasks that pop up occasionally, but might increase during the holidays. So you might have to do extra shopping. You might have to wrap those gifts. You might be hosting events. You might be attending holiday celebrations, right? Are there any tasks on your list that you could actually simplify or maybe even combine? Have you thought about that? Are there activities you're doing just out of habit that no longer serve you? Can any task be eliminated completely? Like just get away, done with it, so that you can have more breathing room? So these questions you really need to think about, and once you answer them, you'll be able to move on. Because once you've sorted out your task, it's now time to reduce. Are there the things you're going to be doing just out of habit that no longer serve you? But now let's here we go. You ready? Now let's just what I'm going to call quote unquote, let's just start trimming the fat. All right? Now, can these tasks be automated or simplified? For example, do you use a grocery delivery service to save up time or set up recurring bill payments? I don't know about you, but I have to tell you that 79% of Americans shop online. Hopefully, you're part of that 79%. And nearly over 70% prefer online grocery delivery during the holiday season. Why? Because it saves time and avoids the crowds, which also can cause stress. Can any task be delegated? So, this is a big one during the holiday season because delegating what you can to a family member or friend, you don't have to do it at all. Wouldn't that be just lovely if you just say, hey, listen, can you do this for me? And they'd be like, yes, of course. So if you have a family member or a friend, try to use a family calendar to assign the tasks so that you know what you've given out as delegation, right? Like cleaning, meal prep to a different family member or a household. Sharing the load of this makes things so much smoother. And then now that you've reduced your task list, you've attempted, right? This is where we're at. We're going to try to attempt to do and reduce your task list. It's time to now systemize. You want to set up easy to follow routines that make your days and weeks flow smoothly. So again, I always say this, but I'm going to just keep repeating myself. Having a morning routine and an evening routine makes such a difference in your daily life. If you create a streamlined morning routine that starts your day off right, from the night before prepping your breakfast items in advance, keeping your entryway organized so that you're not scrambling out on your way out the door, which, trust me, I've been there. I've had that happen. That's why I am such a strong believer in having these type of routines. When you establish an evening routine that helps you tidy up the day's clutter, it relaxes you and you then get to relax before bed. Literally, just take 10 to 15 minutes just tidying up those key areas, the kitchen and the living room, so that when you wake up, you'll wake up the next morning to an organized space. Isn't that feel like, oh, it's so refreshing? And you wake up and you're just like, instead of looking at all that, like, oh, I forgot to pick those up. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. It makes all the difference in the world. But here are some questions that you do need to reflect on. And I'm going to ask them to you very slowly. There's 3 of them. What are the bottlenecks in your current routines? So think about that. Question number 2, which parts of your routine can you prepare for the night before to make your mornings smoother? So think about that one. So write that down. What small habits can you implement that would make the biggest difference in your daily flow? Again, these are questions that you do need to reflect on, which are super, super important. And I think that that is something that you need to consider in order to go to the next one, which is to sustain your routines through the holiday season. Creating routines is just one thing, but then sustaining them through the busy holiday season is a real challenge. So you've gone through all of this. You're ready to go, but now it's time to actually make them work and keep going. The key is consistency and flexibility. Aim to follow your routines at least 80% of the time. But please give yourself some grace when things get a little bit busy, because you really just need to give yourself that little extra wiggle room. But here is how it's going to make it stick, okay? You want to build habits gradually. Don't try to overhaul your entire day in just one go, because you know it's not going to happen. And if you do try, you know it's going to fail, right? And then you're going to just be like, well, this isn't happening, and you'll never do it again. But start with small changes, like tidying up again 10 minutes each evening, or setting aside 15 more minutes each morning to plan your day. Super important. Reward yourself. Again, time again. Have coffee. Have a glass of wine. Celebrate when you stick to your routines. It can be as simple as whatever it is, even if it's finishing, your evening tidying up. Reward yourself. Pat yourself on the back. I don't know about you, but I definitely set reminders on my phone. And there's also apps that you can keep track of your routines. And if this is something that you really are really good at, download one of those holiday season. There's actually apps to keep track of these. And then if things, can easily slip through the cracks, you go to your app, you look at it up, you're like, oh yes, I'm on track, I'm not on track. Just a little bit of a tip. You just never know. Setting reminders on your phone or having an app to help you keep track of your routines is not a bad idea. Time blocking is a powerful tool for streamlining your routines during the holidays. It definitely helps you structure your day and ensures you make progress on your to-dos without feeling overwhelmed. Again, refer to last week's episode in regards to how the Pomodoro method can be used during the holiday season. You want to also list your priorities. Write down your top 3 priorities for the day, whether it's your work tasks, holiday prep, or family time. These are non-negotiables you want to accomplish. Now, if you start now, you'll be able to use these habits again in the new year. You want to block out time. Assign specific times for each task. For example, 9 to 11, I'm going to work on my holiday cards. For those of you that actually handwrite them. But what if you do digital cards? You still have to set them up on your computer, right? 2 to 3, let's just say we're going to organize our holiday decorations. 6 to 7 is family dinner. Again, leave some buffer time. Make sure to leave some time for relaxation and unexpected tasks. The holidays can be so unpredictable, so you don't want to overschedule yourself to be more stressful and overwhelmed. Here are a couple of more questions that you have to think about. And every time I ask you these questions, I really hope you take a pause and you think about how you answer them. What are the top 3 priorities you want to focus on each day during the holiday season? That's a big one, right? Because you want to focus on 3 during the holiday season. And how can you create more buffer time in your schedule to accommodate last-minute changes? So according to a study by the University of California, time blocking can improve productivity by up to 25%, helping you accomplish more in less time. Now let's dive into some specific areas of your holiday routines that can be streamlined. I say this again, even on your other days of the year, I'm telling you, meal planning during the holidays is key. You plan it ahead of time. You create a simply weekly meal plan that includes the special holiday dishes. Start thinking about it. You're going to have to start shopping, grocery shopping, and then you're going to have to delegate out if there's any recipes or any type of dishes that you want to have brought in by your guests, right, that are attending. Your grocery deliveries can also be something that you want to have then delivered. Saves you time. Remember, saves time on shopping. If you are planning a holiday dinner, create a menu now and list out all the ingredients you need. I'm telling you now because it's so much easier to plan ahead and know that you have everything in place, even if you have your groceries delivered. So you don't have to worry about that last minute trip to the store. But I have to tell you that my husband is the one that has to go to the store if I have any of those aha moments of, oh my gosh, I forgot. He is the one that goes for me. So maybe you have one of you family members also, maybe your partner, your husband, that actually does that for those last minute trips, because we've all been there. You want to set up a dedicated wrapping station where all your supplies, like your wrapping paper, your tape, your scissors, that are easily accessible. This saves time and makes the process even more enjoyable. You can also use clear bins or a rolling cart to store wrapping paper, ribbons, and gift tags. It's really convenient if you keep it in one spot so that you can wrap your gifts as you buy them, rather than having a big wrapping session the night before the holidays, which I can say that I have done that numerous holidays. So having that wrapping done ahead of time definitely saves time. And also, so for those of you that still send out those holiday cards, consider creating a system. Dedicate a specific time each week to write and address in your cards. Doing a little at a time prevents last minute rushing, even if you send out your holiday cards online. A few cards each night while you're watching maybe your favorite holiday movie, you'll enjoy the process a little bit more, and you won't feel like it's just a daunting task and not wanting to send out your cards. Streamlining your gift shopping by sticking to an online retailers that offer easy returns and gift wrapping services is something to consider. Make it a list of gifts for you that you need to buy and schedule time blocks for online shopping. And why not? If you set aside an hour on a Sunday afternoon for your online shopping, use that time to compare prices, check for discounts, and make your purchases. This is focused on time blocking where it can save you hours of mindless browsing. And of course, you don't want to miss out on any of those day after Black Fridays and or on Monday, Cyber Monday. Simplify the holiday season by doing less and enjoying more and focusing on what truly matters. This week's challenge is to pick up one routine, whether it's a morning routine, meal planning, or a specific holiday task, and you streamline it. So here's how to start. You're going to identify the routine you want to streamline. Choose the routine that causes you the most stress or takes up the most time. Reduce unnecessary steps or delegate where you can. Here you want to cut out any steps that don't add any value and delegate tasks to others. Please consider that. Systemize by creating a simple routine you can follow. You want to set up a clear process for this routine to make it easier to follow, right? That's what you want to do. You want to make it easy, clear steps. You want to sustain by sticking to it for at least a week. That's why this is the weekly challenge. And then you can adjust it as needed. Follow your new Streamline routine for at least a week and see how it feels. Make your adjustments as necessary to ensure it works for you. Remember, the goal is to make life easier, not more complicated. Just keep it simple and enjoy the process. That's it for today, my friends. By streamlining your routines, you'll save time and reduce stress and enjoy the holiday season more fully. Take on this week's challenge and let me know how it goes. Please tag me and let me know. I'd love to see your progress and love to hear from you. Next week, we'll continue on October Focus, Simplify, Streamline, and Succeed series by diving into stress-free holiday planning. I'll share tips on how to create a realistic plan that keeps everything simple and enjoyable. Thanks for tuning in. Stay organized, stay motivated, and I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to Organizing with Ease podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us grow and reach more listeners like you who are passionate about living their best lives. And remember, a new episode comes out every Thursday at 8 a.m. So mark your calendar and join us. Until next week, take care and keep shining bright.